chased validation, now I validate myself. Building inner strength, putting doubt up on the shelf. No more unnecessary drama, no more wasted time. Climbing higher constantly, making my own climb. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. My network is my net worth. Choose your company wise. Surround yourself with eagles, not with sheep in disguise. Every interaction is a reflection of my brand. Quality over quantity, that's my personal command. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. Whoa. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision. Cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield. I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision. Cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to This and That. I'm your host, Xander, where we talk about this, that, and everything in between. He popped in on us right before the show. I got to tell you, I was surprised to see him. He was there like, what, 9:50? It's like an hour ago. Hold on. I got to throw it up there. Because my man, he came through. I had fell off, I tell you. I was doing so much stuff that I had to go and drop it down. And then I said, let me take a hour like I did with it. I didn't even get a chance to reboot the computer. And then I'm looking at the lag in here, and I'm like, we're going to make it work. Yeah, we're going to make it work. We wanted a link to get into the stream. A special shout out to Mr. Satellite, and I'll throw him another one if I see him again. Pop up in here, I'll throw him some more. I know he's going to run through and then he's going to come back. But, yeah, Mr. Tyler, he missed us the last couple of days, though, so I was wondering what happened to him. Come to think about it, he got here mad early, because we usually show up at around 10:50, 10:30. He got here at like 8 minutes before the show. Oh, boy. One day I'm gonna be doing the members only live before the actual live. That way, the people who dive into the live can come through and talk. We'll figure that part out though. But appreciate Mr. Satellite for diving in right before the show. So, thank you for joining this and that. I'm your host Xander, where we talk about this, that, and everything in between. And today is Thursday. Every day is a struggle day when you out there trying to grind. And I gotta tell you, I put in some effort. Like I said, I was the up and down them 3 flights of stairs. You made so many trips. I was like, man, I had to take me an extra nap before the show, but I was falling asleep. So we here earlier than yesterday. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe. As we always say, that we don't let the sun rise without going live. So we make it a point to try to get in here and get something going every night of the week. And since we are live 7 nights a week with a different topic on different issues and different concerns, we want to make sure that we spread the knowledge across all day. So today we're going to be talking about a couple things. We're going to be talking about philosophies that if you put them into action, how they'll improve your lifestyles. And then we're all, if you guys hang out towards the end of the show, we're going to be giving you some of the dividend paying stocks that paid out this week. So we're going to be telling you which ones they are, and roughly the ones that have already paid out, how much they've paid out, and which ones are pending that haven't paid out yet. So for those of you that have been coming to the show for the last 3 or 4 months and have been writing down all of these dividend paying stocks, you guys can start taking notes on the payout dates for some of these stocks this week. And then also take note of some of the ex-dividend dates of some of these stocks, as we talked about on previous shows. And then you'll be able to know which ones you want to get into and what you could potentially get per share off of each one. Now, understandably, for those of you that think small, a few $100s here and there going into the stock is not going to give you the same quantity of cash flow back as thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. But when you think about, a little goes a long way, because the more you put in, the more often you put it in, the more often you get back. And the more often you get back and you reinvest it, the more you're putting in. And you got the whole month. If you're dealing with monthly dividends or quarterly dividends, you've got the whole month, because you can get your dividends this week and then gauge which week it dips and then buy back in when it dips. You don't have to buy back in the day you get your dividends. That way you can kind of piece together when you want to put your money into the stock versus when you want to get your money out of the stock. And these are ways that you can manage your platform and learn some tips and tricks as you work through this, so that you can get you some higher financial investments. So if you're new to the show, make sure that you like and subscribe. If you are regular to the show, like Mr. Satellite here, as he told you, they give you guys a link, and it's in the comment section. And in that comment section, you can click the link like Mr. Satellite's done before, approve the mic, approve the camera, and it brings you onto the show in real time. When this happens, you are able to talk directly to me, and you are able to be seen by everybody on the show live. We prefer that you're over the age of 18 when you do this, and comments are appropriate on the live. If you're not over the age of 18, you can remain in the comment section. And for the rest of you, enjoy the show in the comment section. Now, we do have some that are under the age of 18, but we got about 75% of our followership that's over the age of 25, between 25 and 45, with 75% of it being male-driven podcast from a male perspective. So as the advice comes in, fellas, this is for you. Ladies, y'all can learn a lot from the advice that's being given and utilize it for your own benefit, because knowledge from this podcast doesn't have gender exclusiveness. But the fact is that in order for you ladies to find higher value men, I've got to tell the higher value men how to be higher value men. And then, when you guys pop into the comment section, I'll take a few seconds to give you guys a little bit of your own intro from one of the 5 tracks that we have from our exclusive This and That podcast soundtrack. And maybe later tonight after the show, I'll put some effort into getting Mr. Satellite his own Titantron because he told me that he'll give me $50 to give him a highlight reel. So I was like, all right, let's see what I can cook up. So got a lot of stuff to do, because after I do that for him, then I have to put together the show, the video for the last cooking thing that we did. And Usman, who gave me an awesome title for the series, I got to put that on there. So special shout out for Usman. So taking all of the knowledge and intuition from the fans and collaborating together and making the show even better for the experience of the fans. So looking forward to seeing these things come to fruition. And as they do, you guys can enjoy the awesomeness of this and that, where we talk about this, that, and everything in between. Now, right before I get started, I just want to let you guys know that since we talk about something different every day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it does primarily talk about money. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we talk about self-improvement and stuff to that effect. But I have been throwing other things in as well, like today, giving you guys dividends towards the end of the show. Yesterday was stocks. Today is dividends. Not sure what it's going to be tomorrow. Bayside, special shout out to Bayside. He asked me for like good movies to go look at in the theater. So, never know, whatever we got going on. But if you stay tuned towards the end of the show, you get all kinds of extra stuff after you get some motivational, inspirational knowledge that you can implement. So 2-part episodes every day of the week. Putting in work. So let's not delay. Let's go ahead and get things rolling. Social connections is going to be far more than a pleasant bonus in life, and it's a fundamental human need and a powerful predictor of both physical and mental well-being. So I want you guys to join me as I dive into the world of the philosophy and social science to see if these insights can truly help us spice up the love lives that we have and revolutionize our connections at 30. So, or above, because for the rest of us that's over 30, you know what I mean? We trying to see what's going on. But in today's fast-paced digital world, meaningful relationships are the backbone of our personal happiness and professional success. And that's one of the reasons why we talk about financial success Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and personal development Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, because they go hand in hand. So according to the CDC, people with strong social bonds are more likely to live longer, healthier lives. In fact, a landmark study found that those with robust social ties are 3 times less likely to die prematurely compared to those who are socially isolated. Meta-analysis estimate that strong and secure relationships can boost our longevity by around 50%. So these connections don't just extend our lives, they also improve our immune system, reduce inflammation, and help us receive more quickly from, or recover more quickly from, illness. So you're all around better for having positive, healthy lives around you. Now, each time we genuinely connect with another person, our brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which lowers anxiety and sharpens focus. But despite these well-documented benefits, building and maintaining meaningful relationships can be challenging. The average adult needs to spend about 50 hours with someone to move from acquaintance to casual friend, and over 200 hours to become close friends. Yet, with busy schedules, social anxiety, and the prevalence of digital communication, many people struggle to find the time and courage to nurture these bonds. Nearly half of adults report sometimes or always feeling alone or left out, and 27% say they have no one to confide in. And most of these are men. Philosophy offers value perspectives on these challenges. Aristotle believed that Love and friendship are virtues requiring effort, self reflection, and reciprocity. He argued that true love begins with self love, a foundation for extending sympathy and affection to others. Kant saw respect as a moral affection that bridges our desires and duties, guiding us to act ethically in relationships. Uh, Nietzsche, meanwhile, encouraged us to view affection as an active energy source, one that fosters originality, self confidence, and the creation of personal values. The Union view in philosophy, championed by thinkers like Nosk and Scruton, suggests that love is about forming a we and a new entity built from shared interests, roles, and identities. Boosting our confidence is crucial in forming meaningful relationships, especially when it comes to attracting our dream partner. So think about it. When we feel good about ourselves, we're more likely to out put ourselves out there and take risks and connect with others on a deeper level. Now, many of us struggle with self-doubt and low self-esteem, making it tough to attract the right partner. We often find ourselves wondering what others think of us, and this can hold us back from being our authentic selves. I've been there too, feeling like I'm not good enough or that I'm just not worthy of love. But the truth is, we all deserve to feel confident and loved. Low self confidence can lead to people pleasing others unnecessarily, which can be a major relationship killer. As much as you think that being a people pleaser is a good way to be, it is not. When we're trying to please everyone else, we often forget what we want and need. This can lead to feelings of resentment and frustration. It's time to break free from this cycle and focus on building our self worth. Another issue with low self confidence is that it can make us more vulnerable to toxic relationships. Specifically, we lower our standards when we are dealing with low self confidence. And when we lower our standards and we lower our expectations, we allow ourselves to be involved with toxic relationships. So when we're not sure of ourselves, we may settle for someone who doesn't treat us well or we need. This can be really painful and difficult to experience, but it's one that can also teach us valuable lessons about what we want and deserve in a relationship. So how can we build our confidence and attract our dream partner? Well, one strategy that works for me is self-reflection. We've talked about this on a show dozens of times. Taking time to understand our values, goals, and desires. And then you got to stand on your non-negotiable expectations for behavior. And we talk about this on a show on a regular basis. On a regular basis, we talk about this on the show. If you guys were to stand on your non-negotiable expectations for behavior, once you understand what you're looking for in the other person and don't flex on that. There is some things that you can be flexible with, certain higher expectations, but your fundamental expectations should not be flexible because those are the things that you want and need to be happy in your relationship. So if you're not finding what you're looking for in the relationship that you want, then you have to make some changes, like increasing the demand for the things that you want to have in your relationship. But they have to be things that are achievable by the other person. So we can't just run out there and say, I want a guy that's got $1 million. You want to be able to find a guy that is consistently employed. You want to find a guy that is self-sustainable. You want to find a guy that is capable of contributing his 41% to your success, but you're not looking for a millionaire because you're looking for 1% when you do that. You want to find something, your standards need to be reasonably achievable by someone else. And then if you have higher standards beyond that that are flexible, if someone meets the higher standards, they're more likely to meet your expectations than someone that meets your lower standards. But your lower standards should cover 100% of your core values and expectations so that you are not in a situation where you're frustrated, resenting, or feeling unfulfilled by the relationship. So setting goals and working towards them can also give us a sense of purpose and self-worth. So positive affirmations are another powerful tool for building confidence. By repeating positive statements to ourselves, we can start to rewire our brains and develop a more positive mindset. For example, we can tell ourselves that we're worthy of love, that we're capable and strong, and that we're deserving of happiness. And this is what I tell you guys on the show more often than you know, that while you have to work on the things that you know need to be improved, you are today deserving of happiness. And that requires you to hold yourself to a more effective standard. So instead of settling for a companion you have like friends with benefits relationships with, or the type of friendship where she only shows up when she wants money, you actually find somebody that values you for who you are and appreciates you for the things that you do that are not monetarily based. Now, it's also essential to focus on our strengths and accomplishments rather than beating ourselves up over our weaknesses. We can celebrate our successes and use them to build our confidence, because once you realize, hey, I've done enough, I've done a lot. I might have not reached my goal yet, but I've covered a lot of bases so far. And be able to recognize that this is working. Like, for example, I've been telling you guys about investing. I've been investing too. All of the stuff that I've been telling you guys about, I've been going down a list. Then this past week, I've been getting notifications that I'm getting paid. Just about every day, there's a notification from at least one, if not 10 stocks. It's like, hey, pay it out today. So, that ability to check off that box and say, hey, I'm getting dividend returns back. I can invest those dividend returns back in. And then when I rearrange my budget and I'm able to do all the things that I've been doing every other month, but now for some reason, I have more money to invest because I have less stuff to pay for, because the things that I didn't need, I did away with. And the things that I still have everything that I need. So I don't have to do without, I don't have to have less. And this gives me a sense of accomplishment. So effectively, I've been able to reduce my costs while increasing and maintaining revenue stream. And now I've increased my revenue stream because now I also have dividends coming in. So I'm able to take the full collaboration of all of that and invest even more into the most successful ones that I've been giving you guys on the list, so that I can see a larger quantity of return for next month. And since it's a once a month payment and you're looking for X dividend dates, you want to put your money on before I would say 2 days before the X dividend date. That way you got enough time to buy in, especially if you're trying to buy in on the weekend. And then, you're going to be on the books for the X dividend date, which means you're on the books for payout date. If you're getting in there, especially if you're getting in there while the stock is low, you're getting so much more every month. And that encourages you to do more. And this can help us feel more empowered and attractive to others, because I'd like to share you a story about a friend who transformed her love life by building her confidence. Now, she was always putting others first and trying to please everyone. But when she started focusing on her own needs and desires, she began to attract people who appreciated her for who she was. Now, her confidence grew, and soon she met someone who loved and respected her. This story illustrated the power of confidence in attracting the right partner. Now, when we're confident, we're more likely to take risks, be ourselves, and connect with others on a deeper level. So we're also more discerning, and we can spot red flags more easily. One of the reasons why you can spot red flags more easily, because you're no longer desperate. When you're desperate, the new generations call it thirsty. You'll take whatever when you're desperate. Beggars can't be choosers. But when you're not desperate, you can actually pick quality over quantity. You can pick quality over convenience. And then practical strategies that derived from both philosophy and psychology can help us overcome barriers to connections. So we talk about this one all the time. Active listening. This is essential. It improves communication, builds trust, and increases empathy. Being present. This is a concept that is rooted in existentialist thoughts. That is a very complex word. Existentialist thought. And that's meaning engaging fully with our partners. Now, I'm going to put this word into the comment section so that y'all can see what we're talking about right here. And then y'all can go and Google this word. Y'all going to be take this one and go ask the Google lady about it, because y'all going to be like, what? Now, look, I be telling y'all going to learn something from me today. Y'all learn something from me every day when y'all come to the show, but y'all going to learn something different today. Now, I'll give y'all that, and then I tell y'all, go ask the Google lady now. And oh wait, I see you guys. Special shout out to those over there on Twitter and Twitch. I'm about to throw this in your comment section for those of you on Twitter, so you guys can watch it too. So again, that means engaging fully with our partners, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. Now, intentional effort is required, means that you're doing this on purpose, right? Studies show that people with healthy relationships are more likely to make positive lifestyle choices, manage stress, and maintain better mental health. Okay. So we strongly encourage for you guys to put attention into making more effective, non-impulsive decisions, because this is going to benefit you in a very big way. Now, if you're offering and receiving support, which is one of the reasons why I tell you that you can't be the most successful person in your network, because if you're the most successful person in your network, you're the only person capable of offering support. If you have people in your network that's more successful than you, you can offer support to those who need it, but receive support from those who have it to spare. And support is not always financial. Support can be knowledge. Support can be emotional support. Support can be physical support, like you need somebody to help you move, But if you got a group of friends that can't lift nothing, then you don't have support. So you need to be able to find a support group that will not only receive from you, but they will offer. Preferably, you want a network that's offering you more than what you're receiving. But socially anxious individuals often receive less support in relationships, which can predict higher rates of breakups. And since the breakup rate right now is like 1 year, 5 months, 6 days, a lot of us are socially anxious, where we're falling for this person head over heels. We're wearing our heart on our sleeves. We're going 1,000% into this relationship from day one, and we're rushing to the divorce, right? Chick hasn't even taken her shoes off yet, and you're rushing her to the divorce. Got to change that. Actively providing and seeking support can strengthen bonds and resilience. The benefits of strong social connections ripple through every aspect of life. They create a sense of belonging, provide emotional and physical support, and help us cope with stress and adversity. Now, in romantic relationships, philosophical insights remind us that love is not just about finding someone to complete us, but about being two whole individuals who choose to build a life together. And that is the strongest fundamental that most of the modern Western women have forgotten, is that we are supposed to be two whole individuals who are choosing to build a life together, not one of us supporting the other for the sake of their not having to support themselves. When we approach a relationship with intentionality, empathy, and willingness to grow, we not only enrich our own lives, but also contribute to the well-being of those around us. If you're passionate about revolutionizing your connections, I challenge you to join me, especially for those of you that are 30 and above. I want to see how well you guys are able to put forth effort into meaningful relationships, because we can build and apply both ancient wisdom and modern science. Guys, to take the time and share your stories and your strategies in the comments below. Now, before we move forward, I want to make sure that I start talking to you guys about the list of stocks with high dividend payouts this week, the ones that have been giving us a little bit more than what we was expecting. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe and run through those reaction buttons, hype up the platform, show us a lot of support. And you guys are going to love this. Now, you're going to get your pens and paper out, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the comment section as we go down this list. You guys are going to see what is going on with getting paid as of May 1st, 2025. So this isn't even old news. These high dividend yield stocks that are paying this week. Wise Market, 34 cents a share. They paid on May 27th, or they're going to be paying May 27th. So they haven't even paid today. That's a new one. See, I told you they have some that haven't paid, and there's some that's going to pay, but most of them I thought I had grabbed were all the ones that are paying today or have paid this week. But now that you know the payment date is on the 27th, get on the ex-dividend date so that you don't miss out on it. Aris Capital, they just checked the box for 48 cents per share. That's actually pretty good. I need to start finding out if some of these are monthly or quarterly stocks, because that is some pretty good, because the Two Harbors also paid, and I think they're on the list. And they had gave me a pretty decent quantity. I was looking at Two Harbors like, hold up, I need to start making sure I put more in your direction every the month of your payout. Plain All American Pipeline, they did 38 cents per share win this week. So it's already happened. They've done the pipeline. Now, let me see. Did I put Aris Capital? Yes, I did. And then we got the pipeline right there. You guys are going to see a lot of these stocks. Now, I told y'all grab a pen and paper and start writing these things down, because unlike those guys that throw you a little bit of stuff over in the hold on. I messed up. I want y'all to have the dividend payments and stuff too. I'm going to put that in there right now. Hold on, y'all. There it is. That's the dividend payout for the Plain All American Pipeline. And then let me give it to you guys over on Twitter as well, because apparently the comment section is split, but I get to see all of them. And that's why when you guys comment onto the show, I can move them to the top screen so that you guys can see the information from the other platforms when y'all comment to one another or comment to me as well. Now, Plains GP Holding. Plains GP Holding. They're definitely good to grab. They also did a payout this week. Let me grab this and put it in the comment section for you guys. So you guys got it. And since they were doing 38 cents a share, there's a lot of them that's doing close to a quarter. Well, not close to a quarter. It's more than a quarter, doing close to 50 cents a share. And that's a pretty decent haul, even if it's a quarterly payout. Now the next one, I slipped up. Postal Realty Trust. Now they did 24 cents a share, and they also paid out this week. So I like this. And then I'm gonna give it to you guys over YouTube as well. So you guys make sure that you take these. Make sure that you write them down. So, and if you ever come back to the show in real time, the comment section is a real-time replay. So if any event that you want to come back and get this list again, you can always come back to this video and go back to this portion of the video when we were talking about these stocks and then play the video, and you can start writing them down on that day. So if you don't have a pen and paper today and you got to catch the bus to go to Walmart and get you a pen and paper, when you come back, this information is still going to be accessible on the feed after the post live show. Now, AES Corporation, they did 17 cents a share this week, lower than the rest. I'm going to be looking into the ones that are closer to 45 cents a share because I'm like, wait, hold up. Because I know I got my hands on Twin Harbors. What I do when I invest, I buy at least one share of every stock that I value. That puts a placeholder in my collection of stocks and shares to know what I want to get next time I get some cash. Then when I get some cash, depending on the valuations and payouts of certain stocks, I put more money on some, and others I put less on. But I make sure that all of them eventually get something. Now, my other strategy, like I talked to you guys about earlier this week or last week, is that I take my dividends from my higher payouts and I redirect them to the lower value stocks so that I can increase their overall principles so that all of my stocks end up with higher principles. So I set goals. I want all my stocks to have more than $50. I want all my stocks to have more than $500. I want all my stocks to have more than $1,000. So as I reach that goal, then I start dumping a bunch of cash on the highest one and then redirecting the monthly dividend payouts to the lesser ones. This gives me the ability to organize which ones I want to receive more capital from and how much. Now, depending on how you do it, you can feel like you didn't get as much if you were to put all your money on the one that's paying the most. But then when the stock goes down, then you're like, dang, I'm glad I didn't put all my money on one stock. It is important for you to diversify. It really is important for you to diversify. If you diversify, then when one is down, the other one is up, it offsets your losses. So I strongly encourage that no matter how tempting it is to put all your money in one spot, it is better for you to spread your money out, because when some of those stocks have an increase, you can sell shares and then put it onto something else that just dropped. And then you would be able to not only see a gain from the sale of one stock, but you will eventually see a gain for the other stock that went down because that stock will go back up. This leads you guys to day trading. And I'm giving you guys stocks that are, as you can see, as high as 15%. Because remember, I told you we were going to be talking about Twin Harbor. There's Twin Harbor. We have, and Twin Harbor just paid 45 cents a share, and I have Twin Harbor. So when I seen that, I was like, Twin Harbor. Now this one I didn't know existed, and I am glad to see it today. International Seaways Incorporated. They are doing $1.75 a share. I am going to figure out what is up with that one because I want to get my hands on $1.75 a share. That is the highest payout that I have seen from a dividend stock in the last few months. And it really depends. Now, this is how I determine the value of dividend distribution. Since the shortest payout timeline that I have found is monthly, doesn't mean that that's the shortest. It's just that's the one that I found. It's monthly. If I have a quarterly, I would divide the quarterly payout by 3 to see what the monthly average would be. If it's a semi-annual, I would divide that one by 6 to see how much the monthly average would be. If it's an annual, I would divide that one by 12 to see what the monthly annual would be. Now, I don't have to put money on it at the beginning of the year and leave it there until the end of the year just to get my money. I can find the ex-dividend date for the ones that pay out the most, and 2 to 3 days before the ex-dividend date, I buy in. You might want to do 3 or 4 days before the ex-dividend date, because if you do 3 or 4 days before the ex-dividend date, you can catch it before the stock starts to rise, because a couple of days before the ex-dividend date, the stock does go up every time. And a few days after the payout date, the stock does go back down. And when it goes back down, that's when you want to buy into it. So International Seaways, a good one to grab. We got a couple of more here. I got this one, AD Mortgage Investment. They just paid this week 18 cents a share. So this is what I'm telling you, like I got a lot. The ones that are on this list are in my portfolio, and the ones that are not on my list that are attractive enough to be in my portfolio, I'm gonna be adding them in my portfolio after the show. So since I just got dividends paid out to me from some of the other shares, I'm gonna be taking those dividends and putting them on some of the ones that I find appealing right now. That way, I buy at least one share. That way, when I find the ex-dividend date for that particular stock, I'll be able to put a bunch down on that stock before the ex-dividend date, so that next payout, whether it's next month or next quarter, that particular stock will be able to give me the most. And then instead of you chasing the dollar by ripping and running and pulling all of your efforts into pleasing somebody else to get paid, you now are just checking dates. Actually, if you do like I do, I set alarm clocks, and one of my cell phones will let me know that an ex-dividend date is coming up that I want to put my money on. And then I'll be able to say, okay, let me go and put money down on the ex-dividend date, or let me put money down a couple days before the ex-dividend date, which keeps me on track. Now, looking at the money, if most of us have money coming in twice a month, if you got money coming in twice a month, if you organize your bills where you put some money on stocks at the beginning of the month and some money on stocks at the end of the month, you will be able to catch the ex-dividend date with at least one set of payments. For those of you that only get paid once a month, you just got to hold on to your investment until the time is right, and then you put your money where you want it to be at. Now, Buckle Incorporated is another one that's really good. This week, they paid 35 cents a share. Sunrise Realty paid 10 cents a share. And yeah, 10 cents a share is not a lot for some people, but if that's 10 cents a share monthly, over the course of 12 months, you get $1.20 per share. So if that $1.75 per share is an annual payout, while it might look attractive, Two Harbors, that's a quarterly, does like at 45 cents a share, it's almost $2.44 annually. So which one pays out more? The one that pays $1.74 once a year, or the one that pays out 43 cents every quarter? depending on the price of the stock, it might be the one that pays every quarter, the one that pays more frequently. Now, I've also found situations like, because Orchid Island is cheaper than Two Harbors, if you buy 2 shares of Orchid Island, you essentially make more money per pair of shares off of Orchid Island than what you make off of Two Harbors. So if you put up $1,000 on Orchid Island, you're going to make more money back than what you would if you put up $1,000 on Two Harbors. But if you put your money up on Two Harbors, the share value is more stable, which means that you're not going to see a decline where you might lose $500 worth of value towards your share price and still be able to maintain the same quantity of dividend distribution that you're getting every month. Now, this one's going to be another one. I see you. Let me throw this in there and then give a special shout out to Bayside. I pop in. I gotta give it a Twitter too before we go ahead and show some what's ups to Bayside. And y'all already know we got to do it. Hello, everyone. Shout out to the regulars. Satellites dancing on Planet X. Look now, we're like a close-knit family over here. We're going to be like, what is it? It's not One Piece. It's Fairy Tale when they're like, you're gonna see a lot of people doing this like Jeff Hardy. I was telling everybody today that we were doing a lot of I love this part too. This is like the 30 seconds of this song that's like the hardest hitting part. And I'm like, man, I gotta take that and put that on, because Satellite wanted me to give him a highlight. I'm like, I think I'm gonna use that section. But yeah, I was telling everybody about getting. It hits real hard, bro. It's look, I got some rosé in the Disney cup because YouTube don't want you drinking alcohol on live. So a lot of things, because I got to tell you about Vino Cato too, because I talked to Dina yesterday. So I was telling everybody about how I've been getting message after message after message this week because all of the dividend payouts. And that tipped me to say, oh, hey, let me just tell everybody about payouts that are paying out high values this week so that they can look and see what they want to get themselves into. And then I found all these. So I started giving y'all the list after the show because we were using philosophical concepts towards enlightening our mindsets and dating. So if you missed it, make sure you go back and take a look at it. But once I started explaining to Deanna about the Vino Cato and I was trying to pick it up off of the platform, she apologized for the delay in her response because she was doing I'm her first promoter of her product. So I'm like, well, if I'm your first promoter, you need to get your behind over here and send me the product. So now I was told y'all that I was supposed to be trying to do the quesadilla thing, right? So since I was going to be trying to do the quesadilla, but I wanted to marinate the chicken with the wine. So since she hasn't sent me none yet, so I went and bought me a box of rosé, and I'm using the Boxo box wine dispenser to pour wine in the food. So I'm going to be putting that on the show. They're going to be like, dang, he's got you push a button and it just starts pouring. So I'm going to be marinating the chicken with liquor and then throwing it into and actually, no, I think I'm going to put it in the sauce. Because when I put it into both of the sauces, like I did with the enchiladas, then I'll be able to throw that onto the chicken. Because just putting it on, you know that when you throw fire onto it, ethanol is going to evaporate. So you don't really want to waste the alcohol and burn off the ethanol if you're trying to get intoxicated. What you want to do is you want to bake that bad boy. That way it kind of just soaks it all in and all the toxins are inside the chicken. That way you get drunk while you're eating food. So special shout out to Fit Chef. And shoot, I should be holding on to links to these things. Because when we start talking about this stuff, I should be throwing links onto the show like, hey, grab this link. I'll do better next time. Oh yeah, but I was a chef for 25 years before I started investing money. So, you know, I worked in restaurants. Don't think that what women don't understand, while men want a woman that knows how to cook and is willing to get in the kitchen and do it, men are not trying to oppress women and make women servants in the kitchen. All of the best restaurants around the world are full of male cooks, and all of the restaurants around the world that have the best food are full of women servers. So which is interesting because a lot of those women have boyfriends and they're willing to listen to a man for $1 at the restaurant and bring him his food, put in the order, get whatever he wants exactly the way he wants it, but they're not willing to do the exact same thing when they get home from work. I don't understand women's mentality, but maybe they don't want to bring their work home with them. Being obedient on the job for money, I guess, is too much for them to be obedient at the house as well. But I just wonder, like, how? But think about it now, because I've been a chef, like I said, 25 years. So I know how to cook. Then if I'm trying to find a woman that knows how to cook, what do you think is supposed to happen in that type of dynamic? Well, some days she's going to cook for us. Some days I'm going to cook for us. Some days we're going to cook together. And that means that we're sharing responsibility. So instead of having the mindset that you're going to be dating a guy as his servant, your mindset is that you find a partner that can do some of the same things that you do, just different. Because a person that's on your level is able to do for you the things that you can do for yourself. So if I can cook for myself, a woman that's on my level is a woman that can cook for me. And a woman that I'm good for, if she can cook for herself, if I can cook for her, then that means we on the same level. Now, if I can cook better than she can, that means that I'm a level above. And that's what they look for, the hypergamy. Basically, I said, for y'all that don't know, Xander has a degree in science. Okay, so for y'all that don't know, I've got a microbiology degree, communication and health degree, and a computer technology degree. So while we just finished talking about philosophy comes through the biology degree, because the computer technology degree is the reason why I'm using all the software to pass on all this knowledge and information to you guys. And shoot, while I'm sitting over here talking, I'm just going to go ahead and grab that Fit Chef link so that y'all got it, because y'all should be able to grab it, because the enchiladas, and every time, like I ate enchiladas before the show every day, and after my last bite, I always thought to myself, dang, I should have saved this and showed y'all on the show so that you could have been able to see like the actual food. But I'm like, I'll do better. I'll do better. Because that's not going to be the last cooking show. So we will get it together. It's the first one, not the last one. Oh, there it is. Look, see, I can find it just that quick. I can find a link to the Fit Chef thing. And I got to tell you guys, it's worth putting yourself into. I just went to the store today and I didn't even have to get as much groceries as I normally get, because I still got more than half the ingredients that I use to make the enchiladas. And, you know, I just picked up a couple extra ingredients that I needed because I ran out of those, like the bacon and 1 can of sauce, and the diced tomatoes, and the tortillas, because I use the tortillas, which are smaller than the quesadilla wraps. So I went and picked up tortilla wraps so that I could do more enchiladas, but I also picked up quesadilla wraps because I told you guys I was going to make quesadillas. I should have picked up some more cheese, but because Walmart delivers, I can always order it and it can come to the house. So this is the link to the Fit Chef. So if you ever want to grab you some Fit Chef, and they give you new recipes every week, and I'm actually going to be grabbing myself some recipes from Fit Chef this week because I favorite them because they give out every 7 days or so. They give out more recipes, and that gives you the ability to learn some new stuff. Look, I go to the page to go look at the new recipes, and it's still on the instructions for it's still on the instructions for the last thing that I cooked. So I'm sitting over here looking like, wait, hold on. I already made those enchiladas. Sour cream. That's what I was missing. I did not have sour cream. I'm going to have to get some sour cream. But this was fantastic. This was fantastic. Oh man. Oh, hold on. I got to show y'all this. I got to show y'all this real quick. So I went back to the Fit Chef page so that I can see what's going on with some of the new things. And keep in mind, y'all, I'm going to be putting some more stocks up there. So I got a couple of more, but you know, on this and that we got. Now they've got a different set of food every day. That's the strangeness. So you got wraps with hummus, you know, and I know about hummus, and this is set up for a breakfast, lunch, dinner with a few snacks involved kind of thing. And so this sandwich with bell pepper, salad, and roast beef, that's a good one to grab. Fresh nuts with dates, and that's a good snack to have. Or that's a lot of green. I bet that's avocados. Yogurt with pineapple nuts. So y'all already know that I'm trying to get something that's going to stop your liver. But look at the calorie count. I'm talking about 3,179 calories. We're looking at 159 grams of protein. I'm trying to really make it do what it do. So high protein rolls with cucumbers. I don't know about the cucumbers, but I know I can make me some high protein rolls. So as I go through this, rice cakes, and I just bought a few more cans of black beans because we got and this is today's meals with mango oatmeal with raisins. So this is so now you have a variety. So if I had a partner that was willing to cook, she could take these recipes and start whipping them up and start saying, you know, how many of these that is going to be. I just bought bananas. All right, so I'm gonna make this banana smoothie. I've got banana. Let's see what let me see what else we got here. Cream cheese. I don't like beets. Apple wraps. We're gonna be. I'll get it anyway. I don't care. I just don't like beets. But we're looking to see what we need. We're gonna place that into the shopping cart. Because I just banana smoothie. It's been a while since I had a banana smoothie. You got protein shakes with grapes. Banana oatmeal with honey. We just bought a bunch of honey for the bacon chicken wraps. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this ultimately saves you a lot more money because you don't have to buy a ton of groceries because you still got groceries left over from the last time you bought some stuff. Granola milk with nuts. This one's got apple nut raisins. And this is just for this week. So now what you do is you can go to the recipes and then look through all the ones that they got, 863 that I haven't favorited yet. And you can go and look through all of the ones that you like. You can select them based on preparation time. You can select them based on diet specifics, time of day that you should probably eat those. And I bet I'm gonna grab snacks. And the reason why I'm gonna grab snacks is because I bet that shake is a snack. Hands down, I bet that it's a snack. And matter of fact, what I'll do is what? Look, y'all. So I'm about to start making sushi rolls. That says cucumber rolls. Cucumber rolls. I didn't even see that at first. So this is gonna be a huge thing. So let me see. BANA. Spell banana for me, y'all. Banana. not a snack. What is it? BANANA. Banana. Let's do shake. Because I seen it. How they gonna tell me there's no recipes with a shake in it? We gonna figure it out. Wait. We went to the dashboard and we had the meal plan. Oh, this is what we're gonna do. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna check the comment section in a moment. I just seen this. Banana. Oh, it's a smoothie, not a shake. That's why. Oh, I could just hit the favorite button right there. So if I see it, I could just hit the favorite instead of looking for it. And now it's going to go to my favorites list. So if I go to my dashboard, and you can always make some changes if you need to, go to my recipes. Now I can go to my favorites list, and all the things that I really want is right here. So we already did those, and mine look way bigger than that. This is next. Well, no, that's an omelet. This is next. The quesadilla with ground turkey. It's not going to be ground turkey. It's going to be chicken, and it's not going to be avocado. It's going to be bacon. But I'm telling you, Fit Chef is where it's at. It's where it's at. Now, since I've spoiled you guys with good food, good eating, and a little bit of rosé, you can get some good drinking. You can get our drink on. Now we're going to go ahead and get back into giving you guys a little bit more to find about stocks. So we just finished giving you guys Dine Brands Global Incorporated, and they paid 51 cents per share this week. And before that, it was Sunrise Realty. That's when Bayside stepped in. Now there are some notable dividend aristocrats that are paying this week as well, and I want you guys to have these. You have Franklin Resources, T. Rowan. Let me give you these two, and then I'm going to give you the other ones because these guys paid out this week. And these are some that you guys can look into and see whether you like them or not. And then you can definitely put your efforts into, come on, give us the, there we go. We got to give it to the T. Rowan. Oh, they're going to put up there twice. They playing. And look at the massive lag on Twitter. Man, Twitter's still over there looking at the show. Looking at the Fit Chef. It's all right. Y'all will catch up. Look, now, Amcor, looks like Amcor Place and Realty Income Corp and Stanley Black and Decker Incorporated. These are ones that also paid out this week. So I want y'all to take a look at these. And remember, as y'all come through, if y'all looking at a lot of these and y'all want to grab some, if you missed the ones that we have displayed earlier on the show, all you got to do is just replay the show and go back to when I started talking about the shares, and then you'll be able to see in real time in the comment section all of the ones that I gave you guys already. Now, Chevron Corp, which I do believe is Chevron with Techron. Chevron Corp, 5.6% paid out this week, and Federal Realty paid out this week as well. So if you guys want to take a look at those to see what you got going on with them, you could potentially find yourself a diamond in the rough. The way I just found that $1.74 payout, I'm going to find out if that's a annual or a semi-annual or what's going on. Because when we were looking up the highest paid quarterlies and the highest paid monthlies, that one didn't pop up. So when I just said the ones that paid the most and we got that one, now I got to go find it, and then I got to see how much that one is doing. Well, matter of fact, now that I think about it, hold on. Here on This and That, we don't just talk about this, that, and everything in between. We do research. So let me go back and find that one real quick. And we're just gonna stick our nose into this. This is what I keep telling you guys here on the show. You gotta ask the Google lady. I'm gonna make sure and definitely make sure that you guys like and subscribe and mash those reaction buttons as you come through. But we're about to ask the Google lady. We're going to figure out what's going on with International Seaway. That's doing $1.75 a share. We're going to find out what their ex-dividend date is. We're going to find out what their whether they're monthly or quarterly. So we got ex-dividend dates for this one. And we gonna ship in on some scissor. So when I grab the Big 10 one, that's coffee. So most recent ex-dividend date was March 14th. Payout date was March 28th. Before that, it was December 13th with a payment date of December 27th. Before that was September 11th with the payout date of September 25th. And then there's another payout for June 12th with an ex-dividend date of June 26th. Now, these are past payments. The upcoming dividends that we're expected to see right now, they had a March 14th that just occurred, and that payout was March 28th at 70 cents. There is a June 12th that's coming up. So it hasn't happened yet. And we're in May. It's June 12th. It's coming up. And it is on June 26th going to give you $1.75 per share for the International Seaway. And I'm going to give you guys this one again so that y'all can be like, "Ooh, snap." So y'all be able to see what I'm talking about. I don't play games. I want y'all to make some money. I want y'all to make some money. So if this is a tip off that's letting y'all know right now that y'all can start figuring out what you're going to do, because if the next ex-dividend date is June 12th and we're on May 1st, you got like 42 days to figure out how much money you're going to put towards the share. Now, you want to get in there probably on the 9th or the 8th so that your money is on the table before everybody else buys in, because right before the ex-dividend date, the value rises on it because all the people that are buying in right before the ex-dividend date. So you want to make sure that you first figure out how much you want to put down. Second, buy in before everybody else buys in so that when it goes up, you're in there. And then once the day that you get paid, as soon as you see the payment on record, if you're going to sell, you want to be one of the first ones to sell so that you can sell while it's high. So you get your dividend payout and you get the difference in the share value of the stock before everybody else sells. So these are the things that you want to be able to pay attention to. So I'm going to throw this into the comment section, and this is going to be a novel for y'all, but I want y'all to grab all of that information right there. And some of y'all got cell phones where y'all can copy and paste this stuff. And some of y'all are just taking screenshots, which is taking screenshots of the comment section. But this is the stuff that y'all need to be working on, trying to make sure that you have, because if you do that, you'll be able to put you in a position where y'all are going to be successful. And that's what you want to do. I want y'all to be successful. Now, since we have covered all of the ones that are on the list now, we've gotten Federal Realty was the last one that paid out this week, but those were special mentions because of the brands that they are and the fact that they're paying out and they have reasonable values, but you got to look at the buy-in. Now, that's going to be the other thing. Did I tell you guys how much that share price is? Because when you're looking at, it's $1.71 a share, you want to go and look at what's the stock price, what's the buy-in cost. So, no, that's the payout. Payout is $1.75 per share. So, price per share So I want y'all to know what y'all doing, because this is how you decide where do you want to put your money. $33.96. That's a lot. uh well, let's see. Compared to Two Harbors, if it's $33.96, and Two Harbors, I think, is $14 a share. If you're looking at it like that, then your then what you're looking at is potentially buying two Two Harbor shares for one of these. Now, still, it's going to be, because Two Harbors is only giving you 45 cents a share quarterly. So since Two Harbors is giving you 45 cents a share quarterly, and this one's giving you $1.74 a share quarterly, that 45 cents a share multiplied by 2 is 90 cents. Whereas this one is still giving you $1.74. Even with Orchid Island is giving you 12 cents a share at like $7.28 a share. And with Orchid Island giving you $7.28 a share, or no, with Orchid Island costing $7.28 a share at $33 for this one, you might be able to buy like 5 or 6 shares of Orchid Island. Right now, if you're buying 5 or 6 shares of Orchid Island, then 12 times 6 is like 72, right? So 72 cents a share versus $1.74. Difference is Orchid Island is paying monthly. This one's paying quarterly. Now, if you do some numbers, and you're going to take that $1.74 and divide it by 3, you're looking at 58 cents. Now, when you try to rationalize that, technically, your quarterly payout of the International Seaway is not going to be as lucrative as your monthly payout of Orchid Island. But your quarterly payout of International Seaway is going to be larger per share than your monthly payout of Orchid Island. So you want to decide which ones you want to go for. Me personally, as we start expanding on our dividends, we're going to end up grabbing a lot of these just because. And one of the reasons why is that when you're putting yourself in a position where you're going to like put your stock market on autopilot, you don't want to have to put so much effort into day trading. You want to be able to just put it up there and leave it up there. So knowing that one of these exists, it's like, all right, well, I'll hold that one, buy and hold that one, and then we'll see what happens. And then closer to June, redirect a little bit of cash to that one, redirect a little bit of cash to some of the low ones, and build everything up. Then you'll start seeing a lot of dividends coming from a lot of places. If you're averaging a positive payout, that's what you want to see. Long as you're averaging a positive payout, you know, I know the goal of the greedy is to try to maximize and get the most that you can out of everything that you do. But the goal of the wise is to set this up where you don't got to try no more. That's what you want to do. You want to set this up so that you ain't got to try no more. Now, once you get there, you're golden. You're golden. You ain't got to worry. But until you get there, you gotta figure it out. And when you're diversifying your portfolio, you are going to go from the best one to the top 5. You're going to go from the top 5 to the top 20. You're going to go from the top 20 to the top 100. You're going to go from the top 100 to the top 1000. So you're going to eventually have a bunch of stocks that are less successful than your best one to diversify when your best one tanks. If each stock and each ETF and everything else that you buy into has a percentage of your profits, when that really good stock that's doing really well all the time does bad for the first time in forever, you're not going to notice it because all the rest of them are doing good. I remember earlier this week, I had 2 down and like 8 up. And it's like, oh, so, out 20%. But it's only 20% temporarily, because as long as I don't sell the ones that are down, when the values of the stocks rise, it will eventually get back to exactly where I wanted it to be or higher. And if I'm interested in selling at that point, then I sell. Because if I sell at that point, that's when I end up with an overall total profit that I can be satisfied with. So, since I have walked you guys through all of the wild things that we're going to be dealing with stocks and bonds and investments today, after we talk to you guys about improving your social and emotional well-beings, that is all I have for you for today. And then we also talked about Fit Chef and all of the cooking stuff that's got going on with them too. So we've done a lot of things across the board today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys ride. I really appreciate y'all for coming to the show tonight. Watch it from the beginning if you missed it. And then tiptoe back around and come and take a look at what we got going on tomorrow, because we're going to have different topics every day of the week. We go live 7 nights a week, and we don't let the sun rise without going live. So you know that we're going to go live at some point. Oh, okay. Hold on. Said, well, before you cut, man, I was approached today by a day trader. People are going crazy in that volatile game, is especially the youngsters with meme coin. What's your thoughts? Okay, so meme coin is a very dangerous thing to get into, because I don't know if y'all heard about that former Disney woman that got because she went in with somebody on a meme coin, and the problem with meme coin is that the person who created the meme coin can pull out the backing for the funding of the coin. It's only worth as much money as the stock has in its possession, which is different from businesses, where it's valued based on the revenue generated from the businesses. It's different from ETFs, where you're putting a monetary value on the stuff that somebody's holding, and you're paying or giving money to the holder of the stuff, and they give you back profits. Meme coin, somebody rich puts up a bunch of money on a digital currency to back that currency. Everybody else puts their money into the currency. You only make a profit if you sell the currency higher than you bought it, because it is not a dividend distributing asset. What happens is that some of these people buy into the coin to create the coin. Then people start buying the coin. Somebody thinks, oh, there's enough customers in the coin that can stabilize the currency, and they pull out the principal. When they pull out the principal, especially when they do it in mass quantity, it tanks the value of the coin. When it tanks the value of the coin, it scares all the people who's got value in the coin. Those people cut and run. Then other people who are putting their money into it see the tank, and then the value of the stock is less than what they paid for the stock. So now they're in the negative. So they can't sell the stock because the stock has no value. Now some people put the money back, but some people just cut and run. And then those individuals who wasn't paying attention to the stock taking a drastic dip in a quick way lost out on all the money that they put in there. So I have not found myself comfortable with meme coin. However, Elon Musk has made a Dogecoin that is a guaranteed stable currency, and Donald Trump has made a Trump coin that is also a guaranteed stable currency. So if you're going to be investing in a meme coin that's not going to flop, Dogecoin and Trump coin would be two different coins that you can count on to still exist like Bitcoin. I don't have a lot of knowledge about all of the meme coins that exist in the world, but I do know about those. And I can go find out about more. I might be able to do a whole show on Tuesday about meme coins. Never know. But what I can tell you is that overall, you got to know you got to learn a lot about meme coin before you get in there. That's not a beginner investment platform. That's a highly volatile scenario. But if you do invest into it, and you play your cards right, you could potentially get massive quantities of profits. And if you hit it big the first time and you lose a little bit the second and third time, but you're overall made more than what you lost, you still turn a profit. But you got to learn from your mistakes. So the only way that I would invest in meme coin is if I wasn't expecting to get my money back. So I'm only investing what I don't need. That is your risk tolerance level. Because if I lose it, it's gone. Now, some of the age-old investors usually say that 90% of your, 40, 50, 60% of your investment is like index 500s, S&Ps, stable stuff, right? Low risk. Then you have a little bit of moderate risk, like 10, 20% moderate risk. Then the last 5 or 10%, 15, 20% that's left, that is the high risk. And the reason why you do it that way is because if your low risk is always generating profits, and the profits from your low risk is going into your medium risk, and the profits from your medium risk is going into your high risk. If you lose your high risk, you lost nothing, because that's profits from profits from profits. If you lose your principal, you lost everything. So you have low risk to stabilize your portfolio, medium risk to generate faster revenue, but it's offset by the guaranteed revenue from your low risk, and then high risk for quick capital gains or tax write-offs if you take a massive loss right before the end of quarter four, so that you don't got to pay taxes on all the stuff that you gained in the market. One more question. What investment apps like Momo and Robinhood and all the other which charges fees, like if you were to buy gold and it were to spike? You're asking me like so if you're buying the ETF off of the app, not buying the actual gold billiard or the gold brick, the cost of trading is going to be the service fees that's on the platform. I use Stash, STASH app, which is an app that does not charge trading fees, but it has a monthly membership. And if you pay the monthly membership annually, and you're going to be turning more money over every month than what you're going to spend annually. If you set it up to where your payout, your dividend distributions will cover the cost of your annual service fee when your annual service fee is due, then the profits from your shares pays for your annual service fee, so you don't have to pay for the service fee. And then the rest of the money is being reinvested until you decide to stop investing and just start living off of the profits. You can set up the platform to do auto pay, and then set up the platform to do auto pay out of the cash. You could do auto uploads where you can automatically reinvest your dividends back into whatever source that it came from to boost the values of your stocks, with basically going on to autopilot mode and letting it do its own thing. But if you want to make a little bit more, at least with some of them, you can have some that are on auto repay and have some that are not on auto repay, or you can have all of them on auto repay, or you can just micromanage and sell the ones that you can buy, the ones that you can buy when you got time to buy, and then just leave them there. Buy and hold everything. because it's just like the difference between flipping houses in real estate versus turning them into rental properties. The more properties you keep, the more money you keep getting. When you're buying and selling stocks, you only make a profit when a stock is sold, but then you got to buy another stock at a undervalued price and wait for the value of that stock to rise above what you paid for it, and also reach a level that you're satisfied with so that you can sell it. And then somebody's got to buy it before the value changes. Now, if you hold it and it's giving you money on a regular basis, yeah, do better with that one, especially since you're starting up. But yeah. So, which ones charge fees was your question? Most of them charge something. They have like withdrawal fee. Some have they typically waive the upload fee just so that they can get your money. But there are a lot of them that have transactional fees where each transaction they get a percentage of it, like 0.03%, and some of them just do like a 0.3% on your withdrawals. So my recommendation for you is to look at each app's terms and conditions, because in the terms and conditions, it will tell you what the costs are for each one of them's usage. And then what you do is you compare what stocks are available to you from that platform, because not all the shares that I've told you are available on the Stash app. They're going to be available somewhere else. You can utilize TD Ameritrade and trade that way as well. And the platform, usually the platform gets pennies on the dollar for each transaction. Now, the reason why Stash app is not doing pennies on a dollar per transaction is because they're charging you so many dollars per month to have an active platform running, regardless of whether or not you turn profits. So instead of them charging you a certain quantity of money per transaction, which ironically, you're not doing a lot of transactions, you're buying it, you're probably buying a handful of shares once or twice a month, and you're not doing nothing else. And the average day trader could probably benefit from the monthly membership. But for those of us that are just doing a buy and hold, like that $3 a month or that $9 a month, that's it. And if you buy and sell enough stuff to make more than $9 that month of profit, it's the cost of doing business. So, if anybody else has got questions, those of you that's on Twitter, especially you guys on Twitch, we're good for questions. I love these because Bayside always finds a way to ask something enlightening, and then a left field out of the box question that makes me think. But truth is like you got to do your own research on them. And I like the Stash app. I found Stash app a long time ago when I was in college, and then I stopped using it because I didn't have enough money. Then we started getting back in and started investing, and I went back to the Stash app because they like offered me $5. So put a bunch of money up and start doing the trading. And my account was already set up. So all I had to do was just go through the efforts of linking a bank account, talk to customer service, and a fast track linking a bank account, and just start putting the money up there. Now, because my account is such an old account, because I've had Stash app for almost a decade now, I can literally move money back and forth on a regular basis. Now, when you first start up your account, there's going to be some delays with uploading money. There's going to be some delays with downloading money. So you can't say that you're going to put money on the stock on Monday, pull money out of the stock on Wednesday, and have the money in your bank account on Friday if your account is new. But if you're a seasoned veteran on the platform, they got a 2-day turnaround. So outside of, I think, weekends that might have delays on sales when you're trying to buy outside of business days with the market, because they are going to do the sales during market times. So you can mark what you want to buy, go take a nap, and tomorrow it will be bought. But it's not going to buy it the moment you say buy it. It's going to place it for sale when you say buy it. So you just got to think about that. Think about your timing. And think about which days out of the month that you want to put your money up there, because that will redirect you towards some of the things that you can do to make yourself more successful. Now, since I've covered all the new stuff, I'm going to ask you ladies, as long as the situation doesn't make sense, I'm going to keep asking you ladies to make it make sense. Special shout out to Bayside, Mr. Satellite, Mr. Pibbs, Ruderus, Omni81, Liberty Twitcher, Danny Steffen, and Red Void. I really appreciate you guys for coming to the show. Special shout out to Twitter X and Twitch for also showing extra support. I really appreciate you guys coming to us from Twitch. If I didn't say a special shout out to Mr. Pibbs from Twitch, because I know he was over there doing his podcast earlier tonight. And remember, we're live 7 nights a week, so we got a couple of extra good shows coming up on Friday and Saturday. And we're going to be doing our primarily business and finance on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Personal growth and relationship development Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Our members only show with questions and comments from the fans. So get used to asking questions. And that's going to be on Sunday. So you've got something to do every day of the week. Make sure that you like and subscribe, hit that notification button so that it reminds you that you're doing it. You follow us, hit the follow button if you're on Twitter and Twitch. And you guys can also mosey on over to YouTube and hit that subscription button on YouTube, because they usually send you push notification that we went live. And then you can just jump on Twitter and Twitch. So all of these ways helps you be successful, because we're always talking about a different way to be successful. So I want to thank you guys for coming to This and That, where we talk about this, that, and everything in between. It's a male-driven podcast from a male's perspective. And yeah, that's all I got for you. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night. And I did have something else. If in the event that you guys are throwing some comments down during the outro, they will be added to the live if it is an appropriate comment. So I will still be here monitoring the comment section as the show wraps itself up. Enjoy other variations of Higher Ground, which is This and That podcast exclusive songs. Special shout out to Alentino Music in Switzerland and Danny from Denmark. We really appreciate you guys. And one more time, I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Higher ground. Used to chase validation, now I validate myself. Building inner strength, putting doubt upon the shelf. No more unnecessary drama, no more wasted time. Climbing higher, constantly making my own climb. Standing on higher ground where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground. My network is my net worth. Choose your company wise. Surround yourself with eagles, not with sheep in disguise. Every interaction is a reflection of my brand. Quality over quantity, that's my personal command. I'm not landing on higher ground where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground.